Welcome to Financial Tip with Amao Babajide Samuel, and I'm glad to be your host and anchor on today's program. We are living in a time that is unusual. In economics, there's something we call the business cycle. All right, nations go from the peak period of the economy or economic boom to a period of recession. Some enter into a period of economic depression. And if the economy is well managed, then the economy will begin to recover. There is one important term that explains two words. That term in economics we call stagflation, a situation where an economy is stagnant and there is also an experience of inflation. Okay, economic stagnation is reflected by the level of unemployment. There is high level of unemployment, disguised employment where people are underpaid even though they are working. And, this results in a very high rate of crime. Many of us cannot travel on Nigerian road from one state to the other today because of the fear of being kidnapped. Now, in period like this, people are forced to develop certain habits or culture. And one of these habits or culture is the habit of borrowing. My financial tip for us today is to encourage us to live within our income means and to try as much as possible not to borrow. There are exigencies that comes that sometimes make it very important for us to borrow, but I've said it over and over that it is never wise to borrow to finance consumption. If you are borrowing to finance assets that has capacity to repay itself in the future, fine and good. But borrowing to finance consumption is definitely not a way to go. And as individuals, we must try as much as possible not to create a habit or a culture from borrowing. Things are hard, I agree, but before you call a person, before you go to a bank to borrow money, you must first ask yourself, am I going to be able to pay back? If your answer is no, please do not make an effort to borrow because it would always end in bad story. Okay, you must ask yourself, do I have the capacity, the source to finance or to repay this loan? Okay, that's the problem. It might look very good and exciting when you borrow money, but it's always very, very difficult when it is time for you to repay. Okay, because you've already mortgaged the spending or the enjoyment or the luxury of the future, and now you have to pay back. So my encouragement for us, even though we live in a very hard time, is that we must not make a culture from borrowing. If you are going to borrow, let it be that it's a necessity. Let it be that it's the last option. Your focus rather at this time should be on how to increase on your income earning capacity. Without that, it's not likely going to be easy for you to borrow and to pay back. And when you borrow from someone and you are not able to pay back on the promised time, then you are losing such relationship. And remember that the greatest social capital for every human being are people. The quality of relationship that you have around you, the level of trust that they have in you, and the integrity you command with them goes a long way to determine the benefits you are going to enjoy from such relationship in the future. So don't just because of desperation abuse that future opportunity that is going to come by your relationship with people. So my encouragement for us in today's financial tip that even though it might be hard, learn to live within your income. And the more you train yourself to do this, the easier life becomes for you, the more contented and emotionally freer you become. Thank you for being part of today's financial tip. I'll encourage you to please subscribe to my YouTube channel, Amao Babajide Samuel. Follow me on Instagram at Babajide Amao, and please like my Facebook page, Leadership Discuss with Amao Babajide Samuel. We are going to survive this time, but we cannot survive with a culture of borrowing, because every money you borrow today, if you're a person of integrity, you will pay back, and possibly with interest in the future. So why mortgage your future because you want to enjoy the present? Thank you. Until we meet in the next financial tip, please enjoy the rest of your day and avoid borrowing as much as you can. Thank you, and God bless you.